Hey guys, Terry Shanahan from the ShanahanPlan.com and creator of the Paleo Transition. And today I want to play a little game of eat this and not that. The other day on Facebook, I posted something about, hey, as you're transitioning to real food or a paleo diet, what are some of the most common foods that you miss all the time and you just crave? You know you shouldn't have them, but you want them so bad. And if you do cheat away from your diet, away from the type of eating you're trying to do, what do you go for? So the number one thing was ice cream. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through about 6 different foods and I'm going to give you an alternative that's sort of better than the real food. Of course, for some of these, obviously, let's be real, there's no replacement for ice cream. But we can get pretty close and we can have something that's a little bit better for you and tastes pretty good too. So the number one thing that kept coming up was ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. So a great alternative is actually coconut-based ice cream. And there's some of these products, they're coconut milk-based. They have lower sugar. You want to look for the ones that have the least amount of ingredients. I go for the ones with no sugar added, and also if you can not have agave nectar, you're going to be better off there too. Another probably even better dessert with way less chemicals, less processed, would be like a very high-end dark chocolate. You only need a piece or two, and it gives you that sweet craving, it satisfies you, you're great. So number one thing, instead of having ice cream, go towards coconut-based ice cream or like a dark chocolate. Number two is pasta. Pasta and carbs and bread and things like that are probably the most missed when you go towards the paleo diet. However, a great alternative is to look online. In the article below, we're going to share some of these recipes and some links and some ideas for the different things I recommend. But the number one thing substitute for pasta is going to be a pasta that's made with like spaghetti squash, and you can put meat sauce and stuff right on top of that. There's also paleo lasagna, which is a great alternative if you're kind of craving pasta or the typical Italian food. And the third alternative there, this sounds kind of weird, but I've been really into this lately, is I'll cook green beans in coconut oil, and then I'll put on top of the green beans, I'll put grass-fed beef and like a organic tomato sauce. Really good for when you're craving a pasta type meal. Number 3, popcorn. Okay, this is a really hard one. There's really just nothing that I can think of that's a great substitute for popcorn. But if you're craving popcorn, it's likely that you want something like salty or crunchy. And so the best I could come up with would be like raw nuts and add some sea salt to them. So it's not perfect, but it's a pretty good step in the right direction. Number 4 is French fries. Okay, so there's some alternatives here that are pretty close. And the best alternative would be to take like yams or sweet potatoes or Japanese sweet potatoes, cut them in tiny strips, and cook them, bake them in coconut oil. And that's going to be probably the closest thing you can get to actual French fries. They taste really good. Maybe not quite as crunchy or as fried, but way better for you. Number 5. People always say, I want pop or soda or something carbonated. I'm just craving something carbonated, when they're starting to just drink water and coffee and tea and things like that. So here's 2 options for you that are really pretty good ideas for when you're craving that carbonation. Number 1 is you could drink some natural spring water or carbonated water like the Pellegrino or something like that, a high-end water. It's just natural. There's nothing added to it. There's no artificial carbonation, sweeteners, things like that. Probably your best option, it tastes a little bit carbonated, also a little bit sweet, is kombucha. So it's really popular. I'll post in the links below one of my favorite ones that you can check out. But kombucha or sparkling water are going to be great options when you're craving that carbonation or even like something sweet like a drink. And the final one, this one came up a couple times. I don't crave this, but some people were craving, is like fried food or like fried chicken. And so again, nothing perfect, but I do have a recipe for coconut almond chicken that is really pretty good, and you can cook it different ways to make it kind of crispy or crunchy. So that's a great alternative. So I hope this video was helpful. When you're craving those foods you shouldn't have, sometimes you just got to get a little bit creative and go to find some things that are similar but a lot better for you. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you get over to the ShanahanPlan.com and sign up for our free 12-day Paleo Quick Start course. And if you have any questions on this or you have any ideas, you try some of the things we recommended today, make sure you post questions or share pictures with us on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just click on the link in the description. You can come right over to the blog, post questions. We'll be sure to answer them all for you right there in the comment section.